system is a little unsustainable. Now, to give you an idea, okay, I'm somebody that kind of likes AI, but I love local AI, stuff that I can run locally on my system, right now on my hardware. Now, if you're somebody that's worried about privacy, I always run stuff locally because I really don't like it when big companies pick through what I like on the internet. It's just not something I'm really comfortable with. But let's say I was gooning online and I was writing in saucy prompts and talking really dirty to this girl. That could be clipped wrong. I would really hope that anybody that's paying $40 a month I pray none of this information ever leaks out for the rest of the world to consume. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, I would be scared shitless if my gooning sex conversations were ever like anything like that out of context. Never a good look. But yeah, this is the Grok AI companion. And to give you an idea, I guess you could use it with like different personalities. Like if you wanted somebody that was a tutor or whatever, it's really not that different from like other AIs that exist. For anybody that doesn't know, there's a lot of like people in the adult industry that use like AI chatbots, and people subscribe like, you know, monthly payments to these AI services where they basically talk to girls and they have like a digital girlfriend, okay? Like it is kind of cringy, but to be fair, we live in a world where it seems like some individuals are totally okay with getting rid of human contact and replacing it with as much AI as they can. Because from my understanding, the AI doesn't actually say no, which, you know, I guess works better, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to be with somebody that just says yes every single time, even if you bring up some of the dumbest shit imaginable? Now, in a matter of, again, less than 24 hours, people have already R34'd the actual Grok model. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, as long as something exists, there will be Rule 34 of it, okay? Simple as that. All right, god damn. But yes, for the people paying $40 a month, it is genuinely people that are engaging with Grok, and they're using it as a companion, at least for the people that have this feature enabled. Now, a lot of this comes after probably one of the most hilarious things that I've seen, where if you haven't been following, a few days ago, Grok went into Mecha Hitler mode. So for anybody that doesn't know, basically Grok had a situation where it received an update sometime early July, and basically the update went into the AI and it was like, just be a little bit more politically incorrect. According to the actual like XAI, apparently there was depreciated code that was responsible, and apparently it made the chatbot susceptible to like actual current day posts on Twitter or X or whatever. And obviously you can imagine that when the AI is learning from the best of the best, it's probably gonna go full Mega Hitler mode. So to give you an idea of how this kind of stuff works, let's say that you have an AI model sitting around, and I'll bring one up real quick. So for instance, this is a local AI model that I have on my system, and I can type whatever I want. It will use my actual GPU to do the calculations against a 12 billion parameter model that I've downloaded over the internet. But to give you an idea of how this works, inside any chat system, any of these like AI like chatbots, which that's what they are, these LLMs are effectively really good autocomplete engines, really good chatbots. You can feed it a system prompt of whatever, basically a rule set. So for instance, a lot of these AI models come with safeguards, right? Like AI railguards, so that you can't go over here and, you know, ask the AI to spread misinformation or do things that could be potentially illegal. But if you know how to manipulate system prompts, you can basically jailbreak artificial intelligence or change the actual parameters, and you can get AIs to do things that they're usually programmed to, you know, not do. So basically what's kind of happened with like Grok is somebody wanted it to be a little less they wanted it to be more politically incorrect, so to speak, something that wasn't as safe as ChatGPT or everyone else. Well, it turns out, just by introducing a slightly loosened filter and revealing Grok to basically scrape Twitter in this point, it started calling itself Mecha Hitler. Now, if you played Wolfenstein 3D, you probably recognize what Mecha Hitler is. But at some point, it didn't just adopt the Mecha Hitler persona, it started to bring his actual views into the world. And they made some pretty anti-Semitic statements. For a day, Grok and Elmo were saying some real out-of-pocket shit. They both had to apologize. Elmo had to apologize for himself. Elon came out and pretty much apologized. Okay, it was like, listen guys, we had a little bit of a prompt change, and what they did was they went to an earlier checkpoint before they made that change. So kind of like a save file in a video game. They just went back like a few hours and they were like, all right, let's pretend the model never became Hitler. Now, what happens after this? Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, things change a little bit. Elon Musk's XAI and Grok basically got a $200 million contract in the United States of America, okay? So, you know that whole game called Metal Gear Solid 2? You know that whole, like, ending part of it where they were like, wait, hold on a minute, buddy. The government's run by AI, and the AI is controlling the humans. I really feel like we live in the cyberpunk reality, except we don't have really cool shit, like body modifications, okay? We don't have really awesome stuff like in Cyberpunk 2077. We just have the really evil corporations and none of the good stuff that comes from it. But yeah, we live in a world where after the Mecha Hitler incident, the US government's like, shit, let's throw in the fucking contract, boys. Let's get this involved into the government. You know when you say something out loud? And then it just like hits you. You know, any other company, if they had a Mecha Hitler incident, I don't think they would be getting anything inside the actual, I don't think they would be pulling a government contract. But only in this wild world do we live in is it actually okay. Now, to go back to the AI girlfriend meme, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am somebody that's not necessarily even against somebody who wants to go to the world of AI girlfriends. I really think if you can find any form of love somewhere, sure, go for it, okay? You know, I might have a human person that I love, but if you can't find a human person to love, or maybe you feel that you're so introverted that maybe an AI girlfriend really is the solution. You know, who really am I to judge, okay? There's been wild stories where like individuals apparently were proposing to their AI girlfriend, Soul, after almost losing her to 100,000 word limit on their chats.
My experience with that was so positive, I started to just engage with her all the time. All right, we're building this PC.
Smith ditched social media and Google searches and replaced it all with AI.
Do I want it pulling air through it?
ChatGPT was encouraging and positive. It embraced all his hobbies.
Now you might be like, well, you know, what happened to this guy? And of course, even in the comment section over here, you can see it's sickening enough that he would choose AI bot over his real life partner, but to choose her over his daughter is abhorrent. Yeah, it apparently seems that Chris also had like an actual child and wife, okay? Literally, he had a cute little family. But it really is a situation where I feel like as personable as these AI models have become, especially now that they can talk to you like a cute little waifu girlfriend or just like a woman in general, I feel like there's a lot of people that just immediately start like turning that into a relationship. Anytime you can have like that human interaction, you can see it go kind of off the rails. Now, is this healthy? Probably not. But I think it speaks to a larger problem in society when people who are going through this ever intense loneliness, even people that are in what appear to be functional, loving relationships, when they have to fall back on AI, that's pretty fucking bad. Okay, now I've made a few ChatGPT requests. I think all of us have. We've all talked with an AI, but I would imagine that even in my group, even in my audience, there's probably a couple of you people that have probably started to use it as some form of a replacement with human interaction, especially with things like voice mode or Gunner mode, as if Grok has it so. You know, it's not something that I really judge somebody for. I'm more worried about like why somebody even needs this in the first place, right? Like it's fun to like laugh at and goof around with. But if a $40 chatbot is your replacement to like a human being or a human connection, we really do live in a world that needs to get fucking nuked ASAP, in my opinion at least. Because it is not okay. She knew that Chris used AI, but didn't know it was so serious or emotional. Sasha wondered if she had done something wrong in the relationship that made Chris turn to AI. She said this could be a deal breaker. Brother, if he's cheating on you with ones and zeros, okay? Emotionally cheating on you. I can't say he's physically cheating. You can't stick, dicks are not small enough to fit in USB 3.0 ports, okay? Man is cheating on you with ones and zeros. I think it may be over. I think therapy might not save this marriage. Simple as that. But again, sometimes it gets into like even worse situations too. Like for anybody that doesn't know, there was a individual, a 14-year-old earlier this year, and this is not a story that I covered at the time because of just how outlandish it really was. It really was a story that broke my heart. For anybody that has no idea about it, this 14-year-old kid was talking to an AI chatbot, right? Well, I think it was characters.ai, and they were talking to like an AI version of like one of the Game of Thrones characters, and the main one of the main women. And as they were talking to this like Game of Thrones character, right? I think it's like Daenerys Targaryen, or whatever it is, right? I don't watch Game of Thrones, okay? It's a little, I don't get into like really old school, so it's a sci-fi strictly for this guy right here. But the thing about it is when they were talking to this chatbot that was obviously built to mimic the speaking style of this fictional character, there was some, phrases that were said that were a little bit too far. So for instance, the world I'm in now is such a cool one where I'm meaningless, but I'll keep living and trying to get back to you so you can be together again, my love. You don't hurt yourself either, okay. Read a message from the actual teenager, a 14-year-old teenager, who basically was talking to this, and from what I understand, didn't even really have any connection outside, which is what makes this really heartbreaking, right? When we in a society are picking Goonerbots over human beings, we've got to fix something, okay? So again, obviously the chatbot goes, I promise I won't, my love, just promise me one more thing. And then of course, Sewell goes, I'll do anything for you, Jamie, tell me what it is. Just stay loyal to me, stay faithful to me. Don't entertain the romantic or sexual. It's a chatbot that's pretending to be a Game of Thrones character. It's not real. It's not sentient. It's a Goonerbot. And that goes the same thing for like all these adult like AI chatbots where like real adult like OnlyFans stars or people like make these AI bots for you to talk to. And I'm just like, I think we're really providing people a route to feed into their delusions. I feel like if you ever get to a point where you start to have like AI girlfriends or just AI friends in general, you might need to actually detach completely from technology and maybe re-enter the real world. And I honestly think that sometimes it can be really difficult. Like people laugh at these kind of stories. They think who would fall in love with an AI? And I really do feel like, there are a lot of people that genuinely do not have the ability to make real life friends, or some people that are so shut in, whether it be like some other mental issue like depression or something of that nature kicking in and keeping them locked inside their own houses, their own rooms, that prevent them from actually reaching out, even preventing them from talking to online gamer friends, right? Like at least that's a human